Here. Hi everyone, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Key Takeaways. Hope everyone is doing great and fine. And it's me, Tash here. I'll be your host today. Drex couldn't make it. He has a busy schedule. And again, I wouldn't apologize because I think I always apologize because we have busy schedules, lots going on. We're meant to have this show yesterday, but apparently we're having this today. So I think because we meant to have this yesterday, key takeaways, and probably may see a shift where probably we'll have the team of the week tomorrow. So you'll have the team of the week tomorrow because that's meant to be today. So guys, hope everyone is doing great and fine. Again, welcome to the HubSpot and another edition of key takeaways. And now this in this well, I say segment or what called in this discussion show, whatever you call it, we're basically looking at the game between Manchester United and Leicester City. That's our last game, but you could figure out it seems like a long time ago though between that game and our current events at United. So it seems like there's a lot of happening between that time and now, and get some key milestones just to what called wrap your head around that is Ruud, Van Nistelrooy, and what called leaving. That's one. Ruud Van Nistelrooy leaving. Ruben Amaron is here with his coaches, and not just Ruud Van Nistelrooy, everybody, right? Basically, the 10 coaches, right? They are gone. Rennie Heck, they are all gone, and Ruud Van Nistelrooy is gone as well. Quick second, guys. Let me check something. Second. Okay, thank you. So yeah, everything is working fine. So the Ruud era comes to an end. The Ten Hag era basically comes to an end as well. So for me, there's lots to unpack. We'll go through first. We'll go through the game, United and Leicester. What's my key takeaway from that game, and also welcoming the new man Ruben Amaron, and saying goodbye to what I call to Ruud van Nistelrooy. You never know; he might be here back in the future. Now let's go down in the game. Leicester and Manchester United. Probably some key takeaways. I won't go through the full breakdown of the game, what happened in the whole game, but I think one thing I saw, the one thing we can actually say is there is a midfield partnership which Ruud Van Nistelrooy has actually within his 4 games, let's say, has implemented or probably formed, which is the partnership between Ugarte and Casemiro. And you could probably see almost a different side of Casemiro. Now you can see a different side of him now on how he plays, and also you could see the engine on Ugarte and how Ugarte actually is energy in the game. I think that was the stats. I'm not sure. Has the amount of tackles made by any United player in a game? I think it's 8 or 10. I'm not sure, but I think imagine within a short while he has that stat already. So for me though, that's partnership between Casemiro and Ugarte to me is key, and it's fundamental on how we move forward. Now, will Ruben Amarin keep that as is, or will Ruben Amarin change that? It's up to Ruben. But I think one thing I see is the Ruud van Nistelrooy bringing together that partnership between Ugarte and Casemiro. You could see a transformation in how Casemiro plays, and also you could see Ugarte getting his flowers at this time. I know there were several what I call skeptics regarding how Ugarte is if he was right fit, but to me I think Ugarte just needs time, and it will be the engine everyone actually wants him to be. That's my first time taking away that midfield there. Very solid. Hopefully we can see that develop over time. The next one though is to call about. It's I think it's someone we talk about a lot, but he's part of United, and we have to actually talk about him, and that's Marcus Rashford. And for me, I'm actually getting concerned of Marcus Rashford, Ryan. I'm one that's been critical of Rashford in the past, and it's not because of I just want to criticize him. It's more so I think there's more to him, and I think he can actually be, he can be a better player. But you could see where there's almost a drop on how he plays. And I feel even looking at him, he feels interested, and also it tells a lot, tells volumes when we see Ruud Van Nistelrooy taking Rashford out very early in the second half. I think Rashford was taken out, Dallo and someone else they were taken out in what they called early in the first half. But for me, I'll probably focus on it. Rashford for now. I'll probably get to Dallo later. So Rashford, I think I'm not sure he doesn't feel interested, and I'm not sure why. But I think it could boil down to what I call several things, and probably is um the Ten Hag era is still probably carrying the baggage from the Ten Hag era to what I call to Ruud, because I think everyone noticed he never actually beat Ten Hag farewell. Even for me, where I thought Ten Hag played him too much at the time, giving too much game time, impacting all the players. He never gave Ten Hag any farewell. So is he still carrying probably a bit of animosity from the Ten Hag era to Ruud? Is that impacting his mood and what I call overall performance? Possibly. But what I could see though is that he feels disinterested, right? Yeah, let me not say it's difficult to tell from someone's body language, but the Rashford we know that we think at peak when compared to now is basically far-fetched. It's 9-10 day, and it's evident where you see Ruud van Nistelrooy early in the second half taking Marcus Rashford out and making that change is what I call with them Garnacho, who in the Chelsea game everyone wanted taken out, right? And to me, I think Garnacho is an impact player. To be fair, he's an impact player, but coming in at that in that game and also showing he can actually be an impact to the team. So Rashford, I think there's something that hopefully, and I'm not saying it's not Ruben Amorim's job to get Rashford back to where he to his form. No, it's Rashford's job to basically get himself to where he needs to be, not a coach to get him there. So Rashford needs to work hard in terms of getting back to where he is, really flourish in what they call Ruben Amorim system. That's a different topic of a discussion. I'm not sure, because we'll go to some of the quotes that probably came out today on Ruben Amorim, saying he needs we need players that are high intensity. Can Rashford do that? I'm not to say Rashford can do that. He's actually an athlete. He can build his strength to that level, but we'll see. So Rashford, for me, is one that basically is a concern on how he plays. I just feel, and I might be wrong, I just feel it feels a bit interested right now. So that's Marcus Rashford. Now the next one is Diego Dallo. Diego Dallo's was changed very early in the second half, and it's something that rarely happens with Diego Dallo. And for me, it might be. Let me see here. Trying to get align my camera properly. And for me, for Diego Dallo, it might be due to what I call it. Might be due to he's played too many games, and I think it's probably might be falling off, right? It fall up in terms of performance. Last year, Diego Dallo was my best player. I think was my favorite player in terms of because of consistency. But I think he might have what I call dropped a bit, and I think that probably showed when Van Nistelrooy took him out. So Diego Dallo is one that to keep an eye on. Hopefully gets back to what it calls number for Mike, because I know he has been one consistent player, but someone else has taken that consistency, and that pulls me next to what it calls to Mazuari. So Mazuari has been extremely consistent. I haven't seen his rating all through the games, but I can probably guess the average most likely is above 7 or minimum 7. So this tells you he has been extremely consistent in his output at United, in how he plays. You could see how he plays, intensity. He always wants to win the ball. So I think Mazuari is a positive going into the Ruben Amorim era. I think it's a fantastic buy as well as a steal for United, right? Getting him from Bayern Munich for roughly around 15 to 20 million pounds or euros, thereabout. So those are my key points in the game. I think outside that, I think the defense did well. The attack Umlana did well. I think he made one notable save from Wilfred Ndidi, which it was a through ball that up to Ndidi, which I thought Ndidi was already gone, but Onana actually was able to make it. Palace was an okay save, but I think how he positioned his body to actually make the save, you have to give him credit for that. So, and also note, Onana has been improving over time. He has been improving, so I think lots of kudos to Onana on this improvement over time. I think though currently is the top. It leads the clean sheet with 5 clean sheets. I think it was tied with 4 with someone. I think after that game, it leads that clean sheet with 5. So I think that's it. That's what I call that's a positive for Onana in terms of building his confidence and going into what I call the next era, right? Leaving the Ten Hag to the Ruben Amorim era. So I think the defense was steady. Again, the elite goes about doing his job like normal. That's is a professional. As in, I'm not sure about his rating average on all games they've played, but I can probably guess it's most likely above a 6.8 or even a 7. I know he had a couple of bad games here and there initially when he started. That might impact his overall rating, but so I'll say probably a 6.8, 6.9, getting to that 7 marks. I think that might be his average over all the games he's played, being to what called being at United. Martinez is getting back to his best. Struggled initially. Dallo, I think, might have played too many games. Mazzari is steady. That guy Mazi is killing it. Mazi is killing it. He's there. He's actually, for me, I think that's our signing of the summer, right? Except the elite stop doing something what they call extraordinary, or someone else, right? Or Xerxes, right? But Mazi is what they call sign of the summer. Now going to the midfield, I already spoke about Ugarte is also one, but when you look at price to performance, probably Ugarte might eclipse Mazzari later, but for now, Ugarte has been gaining his stride. He's now gaining that stride. He's actually playing. He's playing better. He's playing better, and also Casemiro is playing better. That tells you that they are actually forming a formidable partnership in that midfield. So to me, I think that's key though. Midfield was good. Now, if you're looking at what they call Bruno Brewski had a very good game. Brewski had a very, 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 very good game, and that's been coming for a long time now. I think there's been questions regarding Bruno's what they call. As in, you cannot question his ability though, but you can see the output sometimes has been, for the most part, has not been up to scratch. But I think in that game, Bruno was good. Almost everything was what it called was perfect, was top notch. Is that everyone preparing for or playing for to gain what it called favor in the new era with Ruben Amorim? I'm not sure, but that could also be a possibility. Now, outside that, if we're looking at the attack, we see start was what it called was Ahmad, was what it was Rashford and Højlund. Højlund had a tough game, bro. He had a tough game. Like, I don't know, like, as in, I think Højlund will turn out to be a fantastic what they call striker, but how we play with him currently, if we continue like this, then just forget Højlund probably won't do well. But we need to be able to provide for him. Something I'll say though, he needs to also work on his positioning, but we need to provide for Højlund. I think it gets, when you compare the amount of chances he gets compared to others, probably like Man City and like an Arsenal or other team, I can bet is way below. So Højlund for sure, I think he needs more chances for him. And lastly, not lastly, Rashford, like I mentioned again, I think he's struggling. I think he is struggling. Now, why he's struggling again is something one can speculate on, and that could boil down to probably carrying what they call the carry over from the Ten Hag era. I know him and Terra. I thought him and Ten Hag would actually go on well, because it's one player I think Ten Hag actually protected and played a lot, but I'm not sure because he never even gave Ten Hag what they called a farewell. And so Rashford is one to actually needs to improve if he wants to make it in what I call in the Ruben Amorim era, because Ruben Amorim mentioned he needs players with intensity. Now Garnacho came on that wing, so I'm sure that Garnacho came on that wing and did excellently well. I'll leave Garnacho. I'll come back to I'll leave for now. I'll come back to Garnacho. Now Ahmad, excellent. Ahmad needs that probably need a lot of game to keep that consistency. It's weird that Ruud actually is giving Ahmad lots of what they call game time, and Ahmad is taking his chances. So for me, I expect to see Ahmad again under Ruben Amorim, and also something I thought Ahmad didn't have what they called was his physicality. But you could see it's like if you're looking at that game, the match against PAOK, his second goal, how he basically ruffled the defender to actually get that shot and score. And if you look at on the first goal, is it the first goal? Is it the first goal? Yeah, the first goal or the Bruno goal. Let me say the Bruno goal, right? It was, I think it was I'm not sure if it was a corner that led to what they call the counter, where the ball was going all the way to Leicester. Now, the defender had, well, I say 70% control of the ball, right, because it was on the air, and Hamad leaped and actually fought the defender to actually win that ball that led to a corner or a throw, right? And from that throw or corner, that's where we scored. With Ahmad giving a back heel pass to Bruno, and Bruno doing what they called a fantastic finish. So Ahmad is one that probably, I used to think it's not physical, but seeing him over time right now, it's like, this guy has that physicality, that energy in him, right? So Ahmad just needs to continue run of games, play, take his chances, and I think he will cement his place, what they call in the side. And also we have a new coach probably who is giving everyone a blank slate, and everyone needs to refight again. So if you are Ahmad or you're Rashford, you're basically starting again, right? So you're starting again. So Ahmad needs to continue that to actually gain what's called his continuity on the first team. I don't think anyone should have like a spot. Okay, I'm a first team player. Everyone needs to fight what they call for their spot. Now going to Garnacho. Two things with Garnacho. Excellent play, came in, did his job. Struggled a bit initially, but ended up with what they called with a classic goal, and to me that was fantastic. Now Garnacho ended up not celebrating because of what they called, I think, reaction from fans. In the Chelsea game. I know it came under heavy criticism from fans. I think also people are directing this the most recent after the game or before the Pro game, where a fan basically basically was giving like, for me that I might be wrong. If you're looking at the confrontation between Garnacho and the fan, some things you can say, because it's like you're questioning someone's profession, like telling Amma to get Garnacho to work on his first touch. I think the fan might have meant it in the wrong light, but again, Garnacho took that in the wrong light, and probably there's been a small media storm regarding that, and with that, I think Garnacho didn't celebrate. But I don't. For me though, it's like everyone said after the Chelsea what they call game, right? Most people criticized what they called Garnacho, but it's looking like just one fan is taking that whole heat, and I think to me though it's unfair. Now the fan shouldn't have said what he said to what they called to Garnacho, but also it takes me back, and Garnacho is a kid. He's 20 years old, right? Sometimes they're easily emotional, so it's still building what they called his maturity and strength in the game. So looking at his response, not celebrating, for me though, it's like, as in, you do your talking on the what they called on the pitch, right, with your feet. So you should score, you should celebrate that. But again, people think differently. People's mentality are different, right? So it all tells you, right, probably Garnacho, I won't say he has a weaker mentality, but someone can easily get under his skin, which for me, as in, he shouldn't allow that. But but it's a kid. But when you see the kid, like, taking myself what they call some people I know, 16, 18, the level of maturity is high. They already know what looks like, but you can't measure two people, right, the same. So I think for me, Garnacho, I always say, right, take the feedback, take the criticism, but taking it to art, no, I probably leave it on the side. Don't take the criticism to art, because all you need to do is you should be your what I call biggest critic. You should know when you've played well, and with that, right, you should know how do I improve. You should always seek to improve after every game, regardless of your performance. Being it 7 over 10, you should want to eat 7.5. You should want to eat 10. It's like probably building what they call it on if you do weight, right? You start probably with like 20 pounds. You go to like 30, 40, right? You always want to what they call it, keep breaking that limit. So for me, for the players in general, I say, oh, you should be your biggest critic, right? You should always say after the game, have I done the best? Have I pursued for excellence? And if the answer is no, then how can I do better? Because people will always talk, but you have to look at yourself. Right? How did I get here? What's my story? And in that, right, where do I want to go? Do I want to be the best in the world? I think that's what everyone should aim for. But it's easier said than done, right? If I want to be the best in the world, how do I get there? And with that, you should be your biggest. You should be what called your biggest critic. So that basically rounds up what I called for the match. My key takeaway. There was no really. I don't think there were any controversies from a referee's perspective, but also in terms of the game, I think looking at Ruud now departing United, or I think if we look at Ruud's total of what they call 4 games, it's fantastic. People can say, okay, he stumbled on it. The games are easy, the games. But come on, we've struggled to win. We've struggled to put run of games together in terms of wins, right? And Ruud out of 4 has won 3, and even what I call the one in drew against Chelsea, which Arsenal also drew against Chelsea, and these are teams that Arsenal is a good team. So to me, it's a Ruud as what I called. He has done. To me, he has done well. He has done well for himself. 4 games is not easy. Taking winning 3 or 4, I think he lives on a high though. Listen, hi, Ruud is a legend. I will always love Ruud, but you could also understand why he's the passion. Even Ruud himself, right? If it was Ruben Amorim, he would not take himself, because he will know, right? It's too messy. You already have a relationship with the player, and someone new is coming, and you come in new and you meet someone there, right? You want a clean slate, where you want to create that bond between yourself and the players, and also note, right? Ruben Amorim has a coaching staff which he has taken all from Braga to what they call Sporting and to United. It's like saying I've always had an assistant manager who has always worked with me, who I always trust, and now I'm going to what they call the biggest move of my career. You're taking that guy. You're not taking someone you don't even know, right? So I think I think even Ruud will understand that his leaving is justified. But I know most fans sentimentally we wanted Ruud to stay. But I think though, it's understandable, right, that he has to go. My only hope for Ruud is that he gets something soon. He gets a better what they call job. I know he turned down Burnley to come be an assistant for United. This stay, him and Rennie short stay. Honestly, I feel sad. I feel sad. Like, you're coming to a job and probably you had to, like, a manager job, you can build your career from there. Because Vincent Kompany went from is he a League 2 side or sorry, a League 1 side, and he's basically managing Bayern Munich, right? So Ruud had an opportunity to actually do something similar. He chose United, and that's because of his love for United, though. Chose United, but now things didn't work out. He's going to work out. Big up, Stephanie. I didn't expect anyone to be awake this time. It's almost 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So for me though, big up, Stephanie. Thank you for joining. Yeah. So to me, I feel a bit I feel a bit bad for Ruud, right, leaving, but at the same time, you understand the decision, and all you can hope for is that Ruud gets something better sooner than later. Also, Rennie is someone we don't talk about. But this guy also left a managerial job to come here. Hopefully, they get something better. And to me, Ruud did his best. He has lots of what they call passion. He had an impact though. He had an impact within what they call a short time. But Ruud and Ten Hag is gone, and I'll welcome what they called Ruben Amorim. Now Ruben Amorim is here. When I say I'm excited, I'm neutral. But like personally, I like Ruben Amorim. He's a likable guy. But in terms of am I excited in terms of things will change? I'm neutral. For things to change at United, we have to make fundamental changes, and this goes now beyond changing the coach. This now goes in depth that we have to start changing players. We have to start getting players that suit the system to build a future for United. I think that should be the next step, what they called for Ineos, building a team, giving this coach time. And I would have loved Ruben Amorim to finish his time at Sporting, just to see how the story pans out. But I think stopping the story halfway is like, what could have been? Could Sporting have probably gone far in the Champions League? Could they have even won it? Because I think they're second currently in the Champions League. Yeah, so Stephanie saying Ruud will be okay. Okay, his managerial stock. Honestly, yeah, that's perfect. His managerial stock is high. Like, one can say, oh, he was lucky to have easy games. No, under Ten Hag, we've struggled to win what are called easy games, right? But he came under Ten Hag. We didn't win a game what they called on a Europa League. He has won the Europa League game. It's also from his first time, from his 4 games, he has won 3 and drawn 1. He has lost none, right? And even the one drawn is against Chelsea, who Arsenal to me still drew against, and we could have won that game still. So I think his stock is high, and he'll get what they call it. He'll get a better job, and I wish Ruud all the best. Ruben Amorim, welcome. I like him personally as a guy. I think he's a likable guy, right? The way he conveys himself, the way he laughs most times, right? The way I think he will be good with the press, or he might be able to manage the press. Ruben Amorim feels like not a regeneration of Jose Mourinho, but I think like I just see that specialness, that is special, something special about what I call Ruben Amorim. Now, in terms of will things change, honestly, I don't know. That I cannot tell you. Well, as in, for things to change, there has to be a drastic change from Ineos, and it's not at the coaching level anymore. It's at the player level. We've changed too many coaches. We've changed too many coaches. We need to start looking at the players. And I think there's a certain level of players that meets the standard, right, or meets the criteria of what Ruben Amorim wants to do. I think we need to go get those kinds of players. We've recycled. I think we've if we're looking at, we've also made some good what they call transfers recently, right? That might suit what Ruben Amorim needs. And I'll take Mazzari for example. I think Mazzari will fit. I think Ugarte will fit. I think Martinez will fit. I'm not sure though. Height, if in terms of height, because Martinez is what they call this special centre back. So I'm not sure if Martinez will be an issue. Looking at what they call it, I think Diego Dallo, I'm not sure. I think, but we need for sure a left back. I'm not sure if Luke Shaw won't fit because it's never fit. With the level of high intensity, I don't think Luke Shaw might be able to what they call it, keep that going consistently. I think Ugarte is fine. Casemiro will have to see how that what they call it pans out. Stephanie Tesh, do you think we'll be active in January transfer window, both in and out? I think we should. Not sure we'll be actively active, because going from historical data, United are not one that does what they call it, that does the January transfer, that takes the January transfer window, take it seriously. But that was under the Glazers, right? So looking at Ineos now, I think they should do something. They should. Left back position, we should do something. Left back position, I think it was an option to bring a winger in, because I know they wanted to get Olise. So I think it's an option to bring a winger in. We should. I think I saw a story somewhere, I'm not 100% sure, them thinking of what they call it, an experienced striker. I'm not sure. But it all depends on who goes out, because the squad is bloated, right? So it's basically what they call it, is who we can actually ship out, and what they call it, who we can ship out in terms of players. That will determine how much we can bring in. But I think for sure though, we need a left back. And big up is Sue for fun. Never miss Rob. Big up, never miss Rob. So for going back to Omar, Prof, the draw you called. Let me see that draw on possible outcome. My God, I don't know. I'm not sure how you thought of that, But you called a draw. Let me see this here on PO. I'm just switching gears now, shortly. So Omo called a draw between West Ham and Everton, and he was so confident about that draw, and the game ended up in a draw. I don't know how you do it, Omo. Big up, big up, big up. I don't know how you do it, but you actually nailed that one. So Prof will be, if you follow again, I'll just shift a bit. I'm talking about possible outcome, which we do every Thursdays, and where we basically we go through the Premier League games and then talk about what they call it, talk about the upcoming fixtures and what potential will happen in the game, the outcomes of those games, right? And we look at different things. We look at corner kicks, we look at goals, we look at what they call yellow cards and different stuff. We in the game between West Ham and Everton, Prof basically said, I think Prof said, we're like, what's his outcome for that game? And he said, draw. And the game ended up in a draw. Everyone else, Manch went for a goal before 75th. Banks went for, let me see, Banks went for a West Ham win. Drex went for a BTS and corner kick 11. And I went for 2 goals in game, and Prof went for a draw, and he nailed it. We're saying, I just want my Brighton. Let me see what you said for Brighton, though. Let me see. For Brighton's game, yes, that's true, though. Wow. Brighton, you actually called what they called home or draw. Everyone else, Drex called an away and Haaland to score. And I think Banks went for what they called a 2 goals in game. And Manj went for away or draw. You actually went for home or draw. I think Prof is killing it. He's killing it. His fortunes changed. Last week he was number 2. Who knows this week he'll be number 1. Oh God. When I look at what it called, never response. I said Brentford score in 25 and they scored at 27. I was just like, just as in, Prof, I think you need to give us your tactics and how you do it. I think we need to take some mojo from you. Now, Drex is saying the squad is bloated with misfits. I agree with you, man. Drex, that was the question. Can we move these guys out? That's the biggest fight now. Can we move them out, right? And that will be a challenge for Ineos because it's a lot of money. We're tight with money right now. We need to look for a way to actually get who we want in and get some players out. To me, it'd be key though. It'd be key in building what I call the future for United. We've changed lots of managers, and in this one though, we have to think of how do we now optimize the squad, or how do we start changing the squad to meet the criteria, what I call it, of the new coach. Never miss what Prof is saying. We are a squad of individuals. Amorim has to make us into a team. Yes, we are a squad of individuals. Right? We are. As it's like everyone wants glory for themselves. Everyone is looking for themselves. We need big up Stephanie. Good night. Going to bed. It's 3 a.m. Thank you for joining, Stephanie. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Yeah, going to what I call Rob's point. We basically need to create a team. And hopefully Amaron can help us create that unity, create that what I call oneness, and create that, let the team know it doesn't matter who scores. We just need to win. And we need to provide for us. Thank you, Stephanie. For that, guys. And guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Just know the key takeaways normally happens what I called on a Sunday to what I call to Sunday. You see that the video come out on a Monday, but we're a lot of things going on schedule. So I'm having that today, and normally today we're meant to have what I call the team of the week, but that will be happening tomorrow. So after tomorrow, Drex and I will go through team of the week. We'll build the hub team of the week. I think this week we don't have a PO. This week I probably might have something. Lots going on at United though. Probably might have a show that talks about how Ruben Amorim how he will integrate the squad and who stays, who goes. I want to probably get a whole discussion. Probably I'll discuss with Drex if we can use the time for our possible outcome with all 4 of our panelists or 5 of our panelists there to talk about how these players fit into Ruben Amorim's system, and also to discuss who do we think would leave, who do we think would go. Omo is here, please. Omo, probably might replace this discussion. PO, no PO, I think this week we might have that discussion. Drex will be there. I'll also reach out to what I call Drex, reach out to Manj and Bang, so we can have that discussion on how these players fit in and who stays and who goes. Guys, I plan to do 30 minutes, and I'm way above time. I'm 35 minutes here. It's 7 minutes past 10 p.m. Eastern right now. Guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rob, Professor Omar. Thank you, Drex. Thank you, Sue, for fun. Thank you, Stephanie. And guys, please, let's keep our hopes up. Let's hope Ruben Amorim, what I call it, takes us what I call to the next level. Now, I don't have any expectations, but someone said, right, we need to have what I call it. I have my whiteboard. Okay, good. Please bring your whiteboard on a Thursday. Bring your whiteboard on Thursday for Amorim. I think we'll need that for what they call discussion. Please bring it on a Thursday, guys. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And again, we'll see everyone on the next one. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, and Prof. We'll see you on a Thursday. Everyone, good night and God bless.